Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going on a journey through time. We're not going to talk about the pyramids of Egypt, the Great Wall of China, or the Colosseum in Rome. We all know those. No, this is about 10 ancient places that were once crucial to their civilizations, but which most of us have completely forgotten today. From mysterious cities in the jungle to empires that were powerful for centuries and then suddenly disappeared. These are 10 ancient important places that everyone has now completely forgotten. Let's get started. 1. Çatalhöyük, Turkey. Our first stop takes us back to around 7500 BC. Çatalhöyük, in present-day Turkey, is often considered one of the oldest cities in the world. What made this place so special was that there were no streets. All the houses were built close together and people simply walked across the roofs to get around. The front door was not at the front, but in the ceiling. The city had thousands of inhabitants and evidence of art, rituals, and trade has been found. Yet, Çatalhöyük is rarely mentioned, even though it is at least as important as Mesopotamia or Egypt, an entire civilization, almost completely forgotten. 2. Hattusa, Turkey. Not far from there, in the heart of Anatolia, lay Hattusa, the capital of the Hittite Empire around 1600 BC. The Hittites were rivals of the Egyptians and even fought major battles with them. Their city of Hattusa was known for its gigantic city walls, impressive temples, and extensive library of clay tablets. Yet this empire suddenly disappeared, probably due to invasions by the so-called Sea Peoples. Today, Hattusa is just a collection of ruins, while it was once one of the most powerful capitals of antiquity. 3. Nimrud, Iraq. Our third destination takes us to Iraq. Nimrud was once the capital of the Assyrian Empire, known for its enormous palaces and works of art. Imagine gigantic bull statues at the gates, palaces full of reliefs depicting military victories, and enormous libraries with thousands of tablets. Unfortunately, much of Nimrud has been destroyed by wars and looting in recent decades. What remains are fragments of a city that once symbolized the power of the Assyrians, one of the greatest capitals of antiquity, but now almost forgotten. 4. Great Zimbabwe, Zimbabwe. In Africa, we find a city that is often overlooked in Western history. Great Zimbabwe. Between the 11th and 15th centuries, this was a huge trading center. The city had stone walls up to 10 meters high and was home to thousands of people. They traded gold, ivory, and precious stones with places as far away as China and the Middle East. Yet European colonists long refused to believe that Africans had built this themselves. It was only later that Great Zimbabwe was recognized as a local African masterpiece. Today, only ruins remain, but the city itself barely lives on in our collective memory. 5. Mohenjo-Daro, Pakistan. We now travel to South Asia. Mohenjo-Daro was one of the largest cities of the Indus civilization, around 2500 BC. What made this city so special was its progressive planning. Straight streets in a grid pattern, multi-story houses, and an extensive sewage system. That's thousands of years before Rome would do so. Despite all these innovations, most of us only know about Egypt or Mesopotamia. However, Mohenjo-Daro was a city that was far ahead of its time, and yet it has largely been forgotten. 6. Cahokia, United States. Not many people know this, but near present-day St. Louis in the United States, there was once a huge city, Cahokia. Around the year 1100, it was home to an estimated 20,000 people, more than London at the time. The center consisted of gigantic earthen mounds, which served as platforms for temples and leaders' homes. However, Cahokia disappeared before the arrival of Europeans, probably due to land depletion and internal conflicts. Today, all that remains are grassy mounds, whereas it was once the largest city in North America. 7. Leptis Magna, Libya. We return to the Roman world, but not in Italy. Leptis Magna, located in present-day Libya, was one of the richest and most beautiful cities in the Roman Empire. The city had huge markets, thermal baths, a harbor, and a magnificent theater. Some even called it more beautiful than Rome itself. But due to invasions, economic decline, and later sandstorms, Leptis Magna fell into oblivion. The ruins can still be admired today, but almost no one visits them. A Roman gem that the world has forgotten. 8. Palenque, Mexico. Hidden in the Mexican jungle lies Palenque, an ancient Mayan city. Although Chichen Itza and Tikal often get all the attention, Palenque was a center of art and architecture. Here, the Mayans built beautiful palaces and temples, and left behind hieroglyphics that tell stories about kings and gods. The city was swallowed up by the jungle for centuries, and only rediscovered in the 18th century. Today, it is one of the most beautiful but least known Mayan cities. 9. Ani, Turkey, border with Armenia. On the border between Turkey and Armenia lies Ani, also known as the city of 1001 churches. In the Middle Ages, Ani was a thriving capital, with impressive cathedrals, palaces, and city walls. It was a center of trade and culture, but wars, earthquakes, and political tensions put an end to its glory. Today, Ani is a ghost town full of ruins, often forgotten by the world, but once a spiritual and economic center. 10. Vincentia, Tunisia. Our final destination is in North Africa. Vincentia, an early Christian city in the Roman Empire. Important theological debates took place here, and some of the first churches were built. It was a place where Christian ideas spread, even before Europe embraced the faith en masse. Yet Vincentia has almost completely disappeared from the history books. All that remains are archaeological remains and the memory that North Africa was once a core area of early Christianity. And there you have it, 10 ancient places that were once powerful, important, and impressive, but which we hardly know today. They remind us that power and fame are temporary. Cities can disappear, empires can fall, but the ruins still whisper their stories. Which of these forgotten places did you find most impressive? Let me know in the comments. And if you like these kinds of historical discoveries, don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss any new videos. Thanks for watching, and see you on the next journey through time.